Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 417, or if you're in my program, it is episode 647. Now, on this episode, I would like to talk to you about the perception of failure. Now, this could be where you have failed, supposedly, or even the fear of failure. I always kind of tend to lean on the idea that the failures that we experience will obviously increase the notion or the thought process of the fear of failing again. There is the other side as to where people tell us certain things over and over again, or we just experience as an observational point of people failing even, and then us perceiving that to be our own. So we can borrow other people's reality of failing, or we can experience it ourselves, which will then give us the idea of the fear of failure. And the consequence of the fear of failure could be the either failing in itself or in itself again by not actually doing it. That can be a version of failing, because you have a dream or a goal, yet you kind of don't do it, so therefore you are failing, right? So if we think of that as an idea, then we will always never fully complete our goals and dreams. Now, I want to give you an example, a series of examples where people do not consider failure as an end. Think about it. The fear of failure, or the failure itself, is an end point. It's a final thing, and therefore you won't do it. We have failed at it. We have just given up on whatever that goal, dream, or action is. It is something that many people experience, and you may feel that way too. That feeling of failure that just causes you to sink low, that causes you to have worried or anxious or doubting thoughts. The inner self-critic saying, look, just give up now already. You failed, so why even bother? It is a common thing that many people experience. Now, if you have that as a mindset, then you know how bad that feels, like the pains which come from it. Maybe the pain not of only just the action, but the reaction of it, of not getting that job promotion that you really wanted, or not acquiring that customer because of the fear of failure, or the failure of I just can't do this, I hesitate. And then we have the other variations of it, because the consequence creates self-sabotage. It creates that internal critic. It gives you that anger, that frustration, that pain in the inside, but also the behaviors. So we've got the long-term idea that we're never going to meet our goals because we have that perception of failure, that end point that we're not going to get there. And we also have the internalization of that experience, which comes with all those emotions, all those mindsets, and even belief systems within you. Maybe I'm not good enough to get this. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm just going to keep on trying to learn more, because hopefully more information is going to help me get better. What I want to tell you is more information is not going to get you better. It really isn't. And the rare occasion that it may do may take forever to get to where you want to be. So that information age, and we are in an information age, is actually a paralyzing thing at the exact same time. On a previous episode, or many, like this, when I was living in Austin, Texas, I think I said, look, you don't need information, you need insight. Because insight will generate the clarity that you need, and then hopefully the action. Information is just storage. And you know what happens if you store too much on your computer. When all the memory is taken up, it cannot process anything. It reminds me of a story of I think I've said this recently, of the Zen Buddhist and teaching his student. And he said, look, you're like this glass of water in front of me. And he picks up that glass and starts pouring water in it. It's full already, so it's overflowing. That's pretty much all the information, right? As an analogy. All the information is there. It's getting just overwhelming, overflowing. That what you have to do, you've got to empty some out to get the new. And I think that's what insight is. Letting go of the old and getting the insight that we really, really need. So number one, information. You don't need more information. You need transformation. You need impact. You need decisiveness. You need to give up your reasons and excuses as to why your life hasn't planned out that way. Because if we buy into them, we're going to keep on expecting. But when you take a stand for who you are, for where you're heading, and who you really want to be in this world, those excuses, those reasons, and that need for more information is going to disappear. But there's another aspect to this that you must get. You see, failing can lead you to that destination of giving up, where we just decide we don't want that extra money. We decide that we don't want that job promotion, or we're not going to get any more clients. I'm going to change my career. I'm going to do whatever else, which makes you feel comfortable. That is the one option. But something that I've learned from the most successful people on the planet, and these are people who come from many different areas. You see, I've worked with movie directors, like big ones, who won many, many awards, crazy cool ones. Obviously, they experience stuff and they want to work things out, but I have the opportunity to obviously gain information in terms of their successes along the way. It's important to understand what you do good to be able to replicate it in the issue itself. Or I've worked with many business people who have thrived from nothing, from poverty, through all this issue and trauma and conflict, yet become crazy successful in developing systems that support the world. In business, in consumerism, in all these things. And what I've learned there's what I've really learned when it comes to failure. That failure is really testing us. On the one hand, it's testing us to see if we really, really want it. Because if you give up, in my opinion, you didn't really want it enough. Because if you really, really, with every soul, or every part of your soul, every aspect of your energy and intensity, is to get exactly the deep confidence, the deep belief, the deep leverage of success, to awaken that part of you which just gets all what you want. If you have that, then the failings, so-called failings, are testing you to see if you really want this. And when you decide that this is it, the opportunity appears to make that transformation. The other aspect of the testing, which failure is, it's you testing. So you got to one hand is that the world is really kind of saying, look, do you really want this enough? I'm throwing all these obstacles. Do you really want this? And when you go, yes, this is what I want, a lot of those things begin to change. You shift your energy. You shift your consciousness. That's what we're talking about here. You're shifting your consciousness to allow more in, to find the clarity, the crystal clear focus on getting what you want because you deserve it. That's the one level. The other level is testing your ability. You see, when you test, and test, you gain, you gain, you gain. Each time that so-called failure happens, you're testing your ability to refine your behavior. You start to adjust yourself. I've always said the person with the most flexibility in any given situation is going to be able to thrive and survive in that situation because you've adjusted and upgraded yourself along the way. So each failure is really you testing out what is working, what is not working. How can I improve here? How can I make things better? When something goes wrong in my life, I'm like, what happened here? What can I learn from this? This test, which I just been through, is going to allow me to gain something because of it. It's not going to cause me to give up like the one side. It's not going to cause me just to shy away in my comfort zone. In fact, instead, I'm seeing what I can learn. I try to see it objectively. I try to get myself out of the situation and see myself, look, what is really happening here? What am I to learn here? What have I tested that will allow me to transform? Now, if we go into a system called like the TOTE model, which is TOTE, just whatever the word is, like abbreviations, or well, that's not the abbreviation, it's something else. You know what I mean, right? It means test, operate, test, exit. In computers, you test something and then you do a transformation. You do something to then test again. And then once that it works, you then exit the program. It works perfectly. But if you don't get the result, guess what? You go back to testing. Then you do the change work. Then you get back to testing. You go back to the change work. You keep on testing, testing, and testing until you get yourself to where you want to be. Life is a series of tests. Tests from the outside world, but also the deeper part of your spirit, which causes you to gain more insight. The more insights you get, the epiphanies that you get, will allow you to shine and thrive in any environment. So when everything is saying no, on the inside you go, do you know what, I'm just testing. I'm seeing what's happening here, what's working, what's not working, that will then allow me to grow. That is evolution. That is evolving your psychology. That is the science and the art of success. The continued growth, because just think about it, when you achieve what you want, guess what? You don't stop there, you keep on moving forward. When I work with my clients, we achieve one thing and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've got evidence now. I've got evidence that I can finally step up and get exactly what I want. And in that moment, my clients go, well, what else can I achieve? And then we go, I wonder, what else is there that you really want, which will give you more, whether it be externally or internally? What is it that you really want? When you think of the failures, of the so-called failures, we now discover that these are just tests. As you consider that, what do you really want out of life? Dramatic pause. I want you to answer that question. What do you really, really want out of life? Do you want more money and financial abundance? Do you want that deep connection with your partner, or to create that deep connection within yourself to be able to be with someone else, to have that deep courage and that passion and that purpose and that deep, unwavering self-belief that just lets go of every form of resistance in your life, so you're on target and on purpose and in purpose to exactly what you want. Consider what you really, really want right now. What is if you could have anything, what would that be? Because this is your opportunity to declare to yourself that not only is my past experience just a series of tests to really see if I want it, and to really refine my behavior, to refine my action, to refine my strategy in getting what I want. When I work with those successful people who still need help, that is what I've learned, that testing all the time, pushing ourselves to get what we want, testing to see what is happening unconsciously, what is the hidden issue that once I solve, will allow me to break free. This is all there for you. There's so much in store because you have I've said this, in fact, on my Hay House book, the tagline is something like, you have everything you need. You just got to figure out how to use it, right? That's what I really believe. You've got all the resources you need. Even if you're in deep poverty, I believe you have the internal resources to get yourself out of that into abundance. Why? Because there is evidence that has been proven by other people doing the exact same thing, and most probably having been in worse situations, to prove that that is possible. There are people out there who are shining in their business, growing it and exploding their business. So if there's an example where it can be done, it can happen within you too. There are examples out there who have been just in horrible, horrible, horrible situations when it comes to relationships, used and abused. But those people have tested and overcame and got the best relationship ever. There are examples of it, so it must be true and possible for you. So one, you must understand that the failure is a choice. It is an observation. You can change the observation of failure to the truth, in my opinion, which is all learning. That's what it is. Failure is learning, which is technically testing, to see how you can refine your internal set of strategies to produce an external outcome and goal. I'm so focused in efficiency. I'm so focused on strategy when it comes to the mind and body, and also the strategies that you can produce externally to yield the results that you want. And understanding that very deep difference between failing and testing will actually get you failing or success or continued growth. That deep, undeniable experience that you can be and experience all that you desire. It is all there within you. You've got to wake up to the possibility there is something to be learned here. To wake up to the possibility there is more to be had out of life. To break through pain. To break through self-sabotage. To break through from feeling lost or alone. To break through the anger as to why you haven't changed. To break through the fear. To break through of the internal resentment to the unconscious mind as to why we are like we are. To break through to the reasons as to why we are like we are, to the opportunity that you can have what you desire most. This is who you are if you choose. It is a choice, it is a decision, and it's all yours to have. And that is great news, because if it wasn't your choice, if it wasn't your decision, that means you have no control out of life. It means you have to rely on someone or something else to achieve the deep happiness, fulfillment, and contentment and success. But the fact that it is your choice, it is your decision, means that you are the dictator of the decisive vision and direction of where you want to be in the world. To take that action that you want more, you deserve more, even if you don't know how yet, but the decision to see it all as a test to reevaluate your circumstance, your behavior, your strategies, to test on what's really happening beneath the surface unconsciously, to then break through, overcome, and be the hero of your life. Life is so limited. It is so small in the context of the experience of reality. You are here with a blink of an eye. So make every moment count. Decide today that this is your opportunity, that you're willing to do whatever it takes to put the time and energy, the resources into the biggest stock that you ever will see. That stock is you. You are the investment. That will yield the results and the returns of your truest, deepest, profound, beautiful desires of who you are. That is what I want you to know. That is what I feel for you. That is all there within you. You gotta just figure out by the decision, by the reframe, the new perspective, and then the action to do something different today, to break free. Now, of course, you can go ahead and do that. That is all there for you. And if you need support with our team, my team, to get you from where you are to where you want to be, all within 8 weeks using our system, that gets the results every single bloomin' well time, just go to josephclough.info/go. josephclough.info/go. But whatever happens, take this advice, because I do not want you to regret, because regret is painful. But the decisiveness that yields the results, that's priceless. So go ahead and do it. This is your moment. So be great. Wake up. Take a stand. And do whatever it takes. And I'll speak to you soon. Many thanks and goodbye.